do think a lot of side chicks come from single mother homes, and I think that they feel as though using their body will actually get them that commitment from a man or get them that husband. And they're mistakenly wrong, of course, but I do believe that most of those types of women do try to use their body to get that commitment, where men are like, well, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna use her body, get what I want, and make her think I want a relationship, but not actually give it to her. I do think
Women
that's
do
how
not want commitment, they want control.
And
Women do
attention.
not want commitment, they want control. As a matter of fact, the majority of women who are out here that are side chicks, it was a dude who loved them more than anything and wanted to marry them. They didn't want him. There are plenty of dudes out here, and they rarely talk. They're just broken-hearted dudes who, if they could come out and openly tell you, they have thrown themselves at women. That Mariah Mills, you think that Mariah Mills hadn't got a marriage proposal? You think that Brittany Renner hasn't gotten a marriage
Somebody
proposal?
did. Not by the one she wants.
Many times I said I would have married Brittany Renner and literally would have walked out and been like, "I'd do it."
I would say most women literally have been proposed to 2-3 times. And they say no every year. Well, they get a ring and then leave.
Mr. Let Go, how many times have you heard a woman tell you, "I've been engaged 3 times"?
The engagement queens.
Virtually every unmarried woman will brag about, oh, I've been engaged 2 times, 3 times, 8 times.
That doesn't.
And Chanel, I want to say, hold on, Chanel, I want to say, sorry for getting your name wrong earlier. Just want to say that.
How'd you fuck up Chanel?
I said Chantel. I know 3 Chantels.
The prescription glasses. That's it.
I think we're giving men way too much credit when it comes to why women decide to be side chicks. It's saying that it's the desire of men. No, these women aren't doing this shit for men. They're doing it for the bag. That's the reality.
They're not doing it for men. They're doing it because of men. You're mistaken for versus cause. Men have refused to take responsibility because we've been raised by single mothers. If you take the responsibility out of a person's hand, you know what they didn't realize right then? That they had control. And that's the greatest trick that they've played on men, that you don't have control over what women are doing. Yes, you do. They won't put that back in your hand. If you notice that, and when you say we can't control what women do, there's no woman that comes and argue with you. Why is that?
But not even just that. It's like, look how much easier it is to be a side chick. They don't have to worry about the structure. By and large, they don't have to worry about kids. They don't have to worry about minding you all day. They know you're going to go back home and deal with the hard stuff with your wife. You got to finance and deal with the bills and manage raising your children, all that with your wife. They don't have to do that. It's very easy to offer sexual pleasure and just beat somebody in the head for a little while, talk to you for a little while, go out and do fun. When you with the side chick, you do all fun stuff all day. That's easy. Being a wife is a lot harder. These women are afraid of the structure sometimes. If you had a woman who has been dysfunctional her entire life, you can't just throw her into a situation where she has to have structure and discipline.
See, but I'm saying
respect.
2 words. You said easy, then you said structure. See, structure means they got to submit. In order to be structured, you got to submit. And most of these women would rather walk over glass and fire before they submit. So it's not easier for them, because if you watch, women would rather fight over one man instead of all just be with that one man, since y'all know y'all fucking them. Why? Because they do not want that structure that will come with it. So you were right at the end part. Structure is what bothers them, because submittal is something that they don't want to do, because they've been taught that submittal is a 4-letter word.
Chanel, what you got to say? I say you shaking your head.
Let me just go real quick about that. I'm only saying this because it's easy, because that's what they've known all their life, right? That's been what they've learned. So if they've learned that their whole life, that's what's going to come easy to you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. They're like religious. They're good at, because I was going to give the example of John Henry. Well, it was easier for John Henry to track down like that because that's what he had known. But it's hard for him to beat the steam machine, which does it automatically. But the best example is many of y'all got grandparents who just won't touch the internet. It's easier, but they're not used to it.
Chanel, I seen her shaking her head. I gotta hear what she thought. What her thoughts are.
I was only laughing at Tommy's when he said women rather fight over the man than share him. So I thought that was funny. But I did want to say, Sweetie, I think you said earlier that with side chicks or something like that, I think only now there's an actual reward to being a side chick. Like Tommy and everyone else said, you get podcasts, you get deals and all that. But I still stand by what I said. I think prior to, maybe not the internet, but prior to all the rewards and accolades of being a side chick, I think these women wanted at least the provision of the man, if not try to get the man to marry them. Some women are like, yeah, I took your husband from you and all that. And I really do think that that's one
they want to take him. Yeah, okay, let's get it. Me and you. They want to take him, yes, because women are actually more competitive than men. A lot of people don't know this. Women are more competitive in that instance than men are. That why do you think there are so many more videos of you seeing women fighting than men? That should tell you something. Women are way more competitive than men are. So women want to see you lose what you have, not actually gain what you have. Women like to see you lose your job. They don't want to take their ass in there and work your job. They just don't want you to have a job. You know, you see, women don't want what you have. They just don't want you to have it.
Well, Tommy,
that's not true, man. Come on, bro.
That doesn't really mean that they're competitive.
Get him out of here.
That means they're disruptive and not competitive.
See, I know it's hard. A lot of stuff I say is difficult. Like you say, oh, there ain't no way. But then you start thinking about your own life and you realize there are a lot of women who are like that.
Maybe not in the man context, but definitely the job context. I'm like, okay, girl.
They don't want your job. They just don't want you to work. They don't want the stuff you have. They just don't want you to have it.
Definitely.
But doesn't that mean that they're disruptive and not competitive?
That's what I've been saying.
But look, want you to do
competitive
well
means they want. I'll say this to you. When remember when I said disruptive earlier? Yes.
Yeah.
What I mean by competitive is they know. Remember, if you're married and you're married to a man and he's a doctor and a lawyer, somebody looks at them, especially if y'all went to school together and y'all are all friends. This is how it works. They look and say, so when are you next? As a matter of fact, girls all know this. When one friend of the friend group gets married, they look at the next friend and say, so who's next? So that's the competition that they're feeling. And they don't want to feel that competition. So if I can fuck up your marriage, it's easier to do that than me to try to replicate your marriage.
God damn.
Women
y'all don't hear me?
God damn.
Listen, is it not easier to tear down a house
than to build a house? And build a house.
Sweetie, I can't stand this nigga.